Yeah. So, did you see teams have decided? Team names have been decided. So,
Oh, are they all done now? Okay,
yeah.
let's check out
So,
some amazing team names. We have Hellbears, Stream Snipers, Pog, Magic Sticks, Naga Gang, amazing team name. False Promise. Wait, False Promise isn't Neox's team name. Pepper Hands.
no.
And then we
He
have
went with the more generic stuff, but I don't mind. Whatever. I think Neox. Yeah.
the
Not
Agnitos
Brawl.
definitely shouldn't have had Oracle as his team name.
That's true. Uh, so what's your favorite team name so far? I think
Favorite
Naga
team
Gang.
name?
I think
Yeah,
Naga Gang.
Naga Gang's definitely my favorite team name.
But you
100%.
definitely did not suggest that because you don't have the creativity for that, right?
I didn't. I was not the one to suggest that. My suggestion was homosexual helper.
Yeah, I saw that, but
uh,
all right. Well, do you want to look at the thingy then?
yes, we can look at the actual players on the teams and comment on whether we think they're good or not.
Okay, so that I put that on yours. I'll copy the disclaimer here as well. But yeah, basically, I obviously some of these lineups might be wrong because the scrim matchups weren't ticketed. Um, so I might have gotten some of the so-called best five wrong, obviously because some I don't know some people, and to look at what roles they play, I look at the sign-up sheet only, and obviously
Yeah.
some people don't always put their roles. So someone might be willing to play five in a specific situation, for example. So my
Yeah.
best five might be a bit incorrect, but still, nonetheless,
Plus, it might have been people were missing on the day, for example.
yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want to go
So I
through
mean, as
mine
far as it
first?
goes, yeah, I think that we definitely agree on the first one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious there. The only question, I think, if one of the two subs, like from what I know, they can't play support. But if one of them can play pos 4, then that team's starting 5 gets even better, right? Because then Agnitos
Yeah.
goes to pos 5, and one of the
Hmm.
Divine dudes goes into pos 4,
Hmm.
and then it's basically a Divine and above starting 5, which is the only. No, well, there's another team that has that, but yeah. Any thoughts about this team? Any comments?
Well, I mean, obviously Neox is a very good player. Agnitos is well renowned as well. You know, clearly they can lead a team. The rest of the team seems like a very strong, fairly stable team. And the fact that the two subs are still Divine 1 and Divine 4 means that even if they have to switch things around, their team is still going to be very high quality. And they literally only have one ancient player, and he's going to be playing Pos 5 most of the time.
Yeah,
So yeah, it looks like a very strong team, be it either the best 5 or the entire squad.
I agree. Yeah. So moving on. We're not that much time, but yeah. Obviously I'm a bit biased here because you not because like I overrate my players, but I'm biased in the sense that I know the players I bought more than the players on other teams. So
Yeah.
I might not know some of the strengths of other players. That's why I rate my team a bit higher, possibly too high. But yeah, I think I got the best core in the league, probably in Gator. I played last week and I got a chance to see for myself. And yeah, he's a very good mid laner for sure. Both him and Wu can sort of play pos 1 and 2.
Hmm.
And Malal is like a pretty versatile player who can play from 3 to 5. So yeah, that's why. And Harb is my bench core. So
Hmm.
overall, the yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk about my team too much, so you give your comments on it.
Well, I haven't played with Gator. I don't know who he is. He's obviously an immortal rank 2,500, so he's clearly going to be high quality. My bigger issue, I think, lies with the supports slash squad depth of your team. Insofar as you obviously have the lowest player of Legend 3, and then your swap mid laner is only Ancient 7 in comparison to Immortal 2,500, which is obviously a big step down, which I think is the biggest hindrance you have. Insofar as the moment any of your players goes missing, your team takes a big hit in terms of how high quality it'll be, in my opinion. Obviously, that might not necessarily be the case, as in Harbinger and Manly Man might play well above their ranks, but just from externally. And again, I don't know how good
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Gator
Well,
is.
I'll just Hobby definitely plays above his badge. That's why I bought him. But yeah, that's a fair assessment. Yeah. So moving on. Third team. Well, I think this team is yeah. Their start. There's no doubt their tricore is probably the strongest, right?
Yeah,
Out of
probably.
all teams, they have Rabbit, who's one of the best mid laners, obviously played. And I just want to say that this tricore is the team Sammy Snake had last season in Division One.
Yeah,
So obviously he knows what he's getting, and
yeah,
they've played with each other, and they obviously probably
like each
teamwork
other. Yeah,
better. So
yeah,
yeah, but the weak
yeah.
point is outside of that tricore. There's not too much going for
Yeah,
them.
it's a very interesting team because their starting five I think is quite strong and quite competitive. But obviously, the moment you go out of that tricore, the moment you go out of those initial five, it's a little bit. Ooh, if they ever miss a core player, then obviously it's a big step down from.
Well, the saving grace, I guess, is that Cyboys can play mid, so at least
Yeah,
they don't have to send like a mid ancient mid. But yeah, still, like the moment one of the immortals goes missing, you go from a immortal to ancient seven at best, which is
yeah,
yeah, a big massive
a big
drop.
step. But it is fair to say that the fact that their three cores have played together and play okay with each other, like each other, and know each other's styles is definitely a big benefit in this kind of thing.
Yeah, and yeah, their bench, yeah, just all right. Yeah, there was depth for obvious reason. Not much to
Yeah.
go into. Yeah.
Yes.
So moving on to next team, the Jayton's team.
Yeah.
So I don't know a bunch of these players to be honest. I know Ansphere and I know Unha.
My
Um,
thought about this team is that they'd kind of just be the most consistently average.
I agree. Yeah, like so they have a very solid average starting MMR,
Yeah.
but in my opinion, they lack in the department of like a star player who just like
Yeah.
goes ham and just delivers like and wins you unwinnable games.
Yeah.
So obviously, hmm, I don't know.
Well,
It's really hard to assess this team. We'll see.
well, even if one of their players goes missing, then they're still going to be, more or less the same skill level. So I think that kind of no matter what happens,
Yeah,
their skill is going to be the same. So that's obviously, somewhat of a benefit insofar as they're always going to be able to put out the same quality team more or less, unless Ensfer is missing. But you could argue that, when they play against some of the better teams, they might not have the ability to actually, stand up to them.
yeah,
So their range is much much less. They can't be really good and they can't be really bad. But whether that's good or not is remains to be seen, I suppose.
yeah. I think a lot will hinge on Ensphere.
Yes, I
I've
think
played
Enster has
with
a
him.
lot of.
I've played with him, and he can be very good. He's like the classic sort of 50-50 esque player. So we'll see based on that.
Mm,
Moving on to Death Seeker's team, right? So initially this team had internal like major internal issues. Um, but they seem to have sorted out for now, and they will play today. But
mhm.
the problem with this team is their roles just make no sense. So you pay like 60 coins for an immortal, and then you fucking put him on plus 5 because you have no natural plus 5 players. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a very strange team. The two immortals are ranked 4,000s in comparison to some of the lower
well,
ones.
Paul is a bit higher
Yeah,
than that in
yeah, I
theory,
suppose.
really.
But still pos 5.
Yep.
And then you have two low divines, and then the rest you have ancient sevens, and then the support. And you also have Istio, which is a separate issue beyond that. So it'll be an interesting team. One of the teams that might be most prone to transfers or some kind of swaps at some point early in the process. But that'll be very interesting to see.
This is overall probably the weakest team in
I
all
would be worried
aspects.
about this team.
Yes.
Yeah,
And obviously on the bench they have Ifsio, who
Istio.
well, one of the most problematic players in Breakaway.
Yes, that is
And
fair to say.
Kunas, I've seen him play, he's just whatever.
Yeah, he's solid. He's okay.
He's okay, yeah. But in terms of their roles, they don't actually. I believe So if the pos one and two go missing, well, I guess Paul can play mid. So it's not too bad.
I mean,
So yeah, if one of them goes mid, Paul goes core role, which he should be playing anyway, really. But
but put Paul and core and make Istio plays +5. It'll be great.
well, yeah, or at least yeah. As far as I know, Deathseeker wants to play offlane only, and that's also kind of Paul's best slash favorite core role.
Mm.
So you can see this massive role overlap there. So
Mm.
it's a slight problem for sure. All right, moving on to the
An,
next
an
team.
interesting team to watch.
Yes. Yeah. So about this team, I don't actually know what like the best roles are of the two brothers, the Greek brothers, because their Dota buffs and their signups are like all over the place. So my
They can
assessment
do
of
a
this
lot.
team is, so I'll let you talk about it since
Well,
you guys.
I don't want to. I don't want to leak too much here,
Okay,
bro.
yeah, but
Yeah. I think that our squad depth is pretty good. Obviously we have two brothers who know each other quite well. One of them's ranked 2,500. Then we have Divine 7 and Divine 4 is our remaining cores. I think those are quite decent ranks. I think that's good. I think our squad depth with regards to having me somewhere in there is a benefit. Whether I show up at some point is a separate question. Um, I think that uh, I think that team can be quite good, but it kind of remains to be seen how it'll break down in terms of over the longer
well,
period.
my biggest question mark about your team is like you don't have from what looks to be like a super good, super solid core player. You know, like a sorry, like a very high level core player, like other teams have. So
Mm,
like they'll be all right, I'm sure. But it's the same comment I kind of said about Jayton's team, right? Like it's kind of the
yeah, I
overall
see what you
level is
mean.
pretty solid, but I don't see like one player who will be like the standout kind of superstar kind of player. But obviously, as I said, I don't know that much about three of your starting lineups players, so we
No
shall see, I
leaks.
guess. Yeah.
Smiley face. My team's the best. We're gonna win everything. Gonna smash some noobs. I'll show up at some point. I'll
Also,
dominate.
yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, it's fine. Moving on to the next team, Supermoon's team. Well,
Yes.
I'll just say, I think you're probably the weakest pos one. Well, no, the last two teams,
I think their best five are those last two teams. Their best five, their best case scenario is worse than everyone else's best case scenario.
yes,
I think their best five is the. I think the next two teams' best five are the worst two best five.
agreed. Uh,
Um,
because well, so Zolban's is high ranking model, right? But
yes,
he's a very 50-50 player. And
yes, he can be.
obviously, the other
Yes.
core is Supermoon, this is an ancient player.
Yikes! Yikes! There's a reason he's called Super Moron, you know.
Yeah. And the guy I put as pos 5, King, he's actually like their bottom three players. From what I see on their sign up, none of them really play pos 5. So they don't even have like a true pos 5 player, really.
It's
So
fine.
that's
Just buy
another
yellow sticks.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean. Like the player's
Yeah.
motivation goes down. But if you didn't sign up for plus five, and you're like, well, one of you guys has to play plus five, you might be like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
uh,
and I think that this team's squad depth, as we kind of already said, is probably among the worst again. The moment they have cores one of the immortals swap out, then there's a big drop down.
well, from what I see, so Bun can play plus four supposedly according to his sign up.
Hmm.
Uh, but he's like their only offlaner really. So I think from what I see, Porters and Notre Dame, they're like pos 1-2 players. So they have essentially three ancient pos 1-2 players, which is like a bit too much for a team, right? To make it work in terms of
Yes.
rotations. So it's gonna decrease their
Yep.
quality a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some questions to be asked about this team, but you never know. If their main team does show up and they play against some teams that may be playing with a sub or two, they could probably take some games off. You know,
Yeah.
they're still competitive if they're best five.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yeah.
when subs
It's not.
happen.
I
Then,
think most of the teams are like the best fives can take games with others. Like it's not that
mm,
bad the difference, but I do think there's a big difference in terms of squad depth though between
yeah.
teams.
And
And
then finally we have Laser's team.
again, I don't know Lays and Hazel and Destiny,
Yeah.
but still, like I see two ancients. Like okay, they're ancient seven slash divine one. I think. Jayton.
I think that the best five is probably among the worst there because you've got your Divine Six on pos 3 and you've got your Immortal on pos 4. It's a little bit questionable, and again, Ancient Sevens or or High Ancients, Low Divines on their pos in 1 and pos 2. So that's the best five is probably, in my opinion, the worst best five. Their subs are still okay. You know, you got Dante's a low divine and their Zelds and Ancient Seven. So I think that the consistency is kind of there. They're not gonna, even if some of the players are missing, they're still gonna probably play around the same level. So I think their squad depth maybe is again kind of similar to the Jayton's team, which is to say that they're still going to be kind of consistent at what their level is, although not that I necessarily think that level is particularly great.
Yeah.
But you know, it'll be interesting to see. And again, I think the last two teams are some of the teams that could most benefit from some sneaky trades at some point in the future. And you know, swapping one of these players out for someone else could make a suddenly amplify teams from maybe among the worst teams to among some of the better teams.
Well, I think actually chances will benefit the most the teams with which you said have role issues slash squad depth, right? Because
Yeah.
if you have like say you have for example we said about the Supermoon team that they have too many ancient cores, you can easily trade like an ancient core for like an ancient support player, and it will
Mm-hmm.
like massively improve. Like they will have the most to gain from
Yeah.
trades as opposed to teams whose roles already make sense. So the best they can do is, I guess, trade a similar rank for another slightly better player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm gonna switch to your tab and see what you wrote.
We have largely similar ideas about most of it. I slightly higher rate my own team's best
Of
five,
course, and
but
yeah,
there's an asterisk there because I think I'm on my best five, but obviously I'm not playing right now. So, you know, in effect, it's lower than that because I'm not in it. Smiley face. Beyond that, I think we're fairly consistent.
if
I
you
rate
did
your
play
team.
though, who would get benched? I guess AC Explosion.
Yeah, AC Explosion. And when, well, no leaks. No leaks, please. I'm
I
not going to leak
mean,
my team strats.
I'm not asked, but I like
No,
because I know
I think we,
the two brothers played plus four and plus five last season. So
we have some ideas
yeah,
if that happens. But yeah,
uh
generally speaking, I
yes,
think I rate your best five perhaps a little lower than you do. Well, definitely
yeah,
lower than
that's
you
fair.
do.
Yeah, of course.
Um, Obviously you have a better insight into your team, but apart from that, I think we're more or less similar in our ideas about
Yeah.
the rest of it. So who's playing who today?
Let's see. Uh, yeah. So we're almost out of time. So we'll just do quick predictions, I guess. I'll
Hmm.
add a new tab later, but for now I'll get her right here. Okay,
So
so
we have
Jayton, Sammy Snake, Neox, Deathseeker, Saltin Pagos, Sparta, Lace Supermoon. Oh, Lace Supermoon is a spicy showdown
yes,
of the so-called lower-rated teams.
yes.
So
That'll
I'll
be
just
interesting.
do my prediction quick. Well, it is a best of two, remember?
Yeah.
So, I think I heard, if I'm correct, NCA maybe has some troubles with his eye, like unironically. So
Yes,
he
he
may
has
be missing
apparently.
or something like that. So with that in mind, I'll have to give a 2-0 to team Sam Mistake. Whoops. Neox Deathseeker. Well, I do rate Neox's team a lot, so
Yeah,
that's a 2-0 in
definitely
my
true.
opinion.
Neox, in my opinion.
This one I'm gonna say 1-1. Well,
Uh,
you can put down a different prediction yourself.
I'm only view only. Please, Sparta,
Yeah, I can.
please.
I'll write it down.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd say I agree for the first one. Agree for the second one. I'd say 2-0 for my team because you know go my
Of
team.
course.
Um, and then I'd say probably 1-1 for the last
Yeah,
match.
I'll say a 1-1 as well. All right. Well,
Yeah, I think I think Sammy Snake's team. You know, I think they're probably better, especially
oh wait,
considering
actually,
Ensis.
Simon Snake is missing today. I might change that to a 1-1 as well. Hmm.
They're replacing with quartz, I imagine.
I suppose yes, but I think
I
he's
could see
like
an argument for 1-1
the
actually.
isn't he
Yeah,
like
no, I
the
could.
kind of the more talkative type in game?
Yeah,
So
no, I could see an argument for 1-1. Yeah, yeah.
because I remember we said that even though NC is their best player, their
They're
overall
consistent. Yeah,
is
yeah,
yeah
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
subbing
I
in with like
definitely.
another with a divine, so it's they still have a full divine. Oh no, sorry, ancient 7, yeah, but we'll see, I guess. All right,
Yeah.
I guess that sums it all up. Any other comments? Anything else to say? I think we
Um,
covered everything.
the best team is obviously the Naga Gang. Naga Gang number one. We're gonna beat everyone. Go Naga Gang. Yes.
All right, cool. All right then. If you have any feedback or anything about pre-show, PM, either of us, Sparta
Okay,
or
spot on
Cloud.
me, please.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week, hopefully.